Good afternoon, parents. Thank you for your time. We welcome you to the Year 4 Meet the Team event. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Just to let you know, the session will be recorded, so don't feel like you need to jot everything down or try and remember all the information we're about to pass on to you today. It is a recorded event today. I'm Miss Brunton and I'm head of phase. You might recognise me from being head of year last year. I'm now head of phase, which means I oversee years 3 and year 4 this year. So I'm very, very, very lucky. Today's Meet the Team event is just to kind of introduce ourselves, introduce the teachers, and then later on from the email that you've had this week, went out on Tuesday, there's a Meet the Teacher session where they'll be able to catch up and see your class teacher more one-to-one during morning time. So this is just going to hand over and just go over some functionality things, like the uniform, things to expect here as part of the Year 4 team. So really happy to have you here, and thank you for all your support so far this year. The children have settled in fantastically well, so we're really excited. You've got a fantastic team and an even marvellous head of year looking after all your children this year as well. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to our head of year. If you do have any questions, put them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them as quick as we can. So over to our lovely head of year, Miss McManaman.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Brunton, and hello to all the parents out there. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. It's great to have you here and to tell you all about the wonderful year ahead for our Year 4 students. So I'm Mrs. McManaman and I'm the 4A class teacher and also the head of Year 4. And I'm going to introduce you now to the rest of our wonderful Year 4 team who will be looking after and teaching all of your children this year in Year 4. So in 4B, we have Miss Vishali Mehta, who is joining us later to tell us a little bit more about house points. We have Miss Samantha Hill in 4C. We have Thomas Denton in 4D. We have Lucy Cooper in 4E. We have Jenny Young in 4F. And we have Shelley Schultzek in 4G. So they're our wonderful teachers, and we've got a wonderful experienced team. In Year 4, we're really lucky, some excellent teachers. So all the children have wonderful class teachers, and we're a really strong team. And then supporting us, we have our wonderful teaching assistants. In 4A, we have Miss Annette. In 4B and 4C, we have Miss Digula. In 4D and 4E, we have Miss Riona, and in 4F and 4G, we have Latifa. And all of these teaching assistants make up a wonderful part of our team as well, and your children will get to know them really well as we move through Year 4. Okay, so just to let you know a little bit about our school timings, I know they're slightly different this year for Year 4, so we have our times represented here on the board. Our drop-off time is between 7:15 and 7:45 a.m. and pick-up time 3 p.m. and that's Monday to Thursday. And on Fridays, our pick-up time is at 11:50 a.m. And then ECAs, when they're back in a few weeks' time, they'll run Tuesday to Thursdays from 3:15 to 4:10. And there's some wonderful ECA opportunities for our Year 4 children to take part in, lots of sport and creative activities, and some digital ECAs as well. And those finish at 4:10 p.m. at the end of the school day. Okay, just a reminder for drop-off points. So as we move to Year 4, our pick-up point at the end of the school day is point D, which is over at the secondary side near the secondary reception. And the parents can come to collect children there at the end of the school day at 3 p.m. or 11:50, and the teachers will be there to drop the children off. So that's just on the other side of the main reception, point D here. And then we have our wonderful school transport services. So if your child is taking the bus, for any queries, you can direct them to STS, and your class teachers as well are helping with that transition of children getting to the bus at the end of the day. So they arrive at school between 7:15 and 7:40, and they depart at 3:20 for our Year 4 students. And then on a Friday at 12:15. Okay, so those are for children not taking ECAs. We have school bus options from STS. And then this is just an example of our timetable in Year 4. So lots of wonderful learning for our children in year 4 in lots of different subjects. So they have the chance this year of learning French and Spanish. And so you can see on this example timetable here, French, and the children will have that for the first half term, for the first 3 half terms, and then they'll have Spanish for the next 3 half terms. So if your child is doing Spanish at the moment, then halfway through the year, they will then move to French. So a chance for the children to learn both of those modern foreign languages. And we have student-led assemblies. We had our first student-led assembly today with our prefects and our head boy and head girl. It's a wonderful assembly, and those happen on Thursday afternoons. And just a reminder that our school day starts at 7:45 a.m. with the children beginning with a wonderful Grow Well lesson for the first 10 minutes of the day. And this is a really nice way for them to start off their day. And I know Miss Young, our 4F teacher, is going to speak a little bit more about Grow Well in a later slide about well-being. Okay, and then you can see after lunch, 2 afternoons a week, the children have a great chance to really explore their projects for change and some, great chances to research, develop, and a little bit more student-led learning, which we're really, really excited about in year 4. And we've got some wonderful topics in our projects for change this year. Our first topic is about the Americas. And I know we've got some really exciting events happening, so we can't wait to share some more about that with you throughout the rest of this term. Okay, and just one more from me before I pass you over to the rest of the team. Just some reminders about uniform, and all our children looking so wonderful and smart, and it's great to see them all back in school, and for our new joiners too, in their full uniform, looking really, really dressed for success and looking really, really smart. And it's wonderful to see that. And thank you so much for all your support with getting all of the children ready and looking so wonderful for school. So it's really been great, and we really thank you for all of that support. So just some reminders that our cardigans and pullovers for boys and girls to wear, and that's perfectly fine. I know with the AC on, sometimes they might find it a little cool. That these are our approved and correct uniform jumpers. Okay, so this navy cardigan, navy pullover. So we're not wearing hoodies, and I know that some children did bring those on the first day, and I haven't seen too many since, so that's wonderful. So these are our correct uniform. And then for the girls, we've got these neckties, and here you can see the illustrations for the boys as well. And then just one reminder about the bags, and it's wonderful to see so many children ready with their new bags for the school year, and these correct Wellington bags. So just a little reminder about those. These are the only school bags, the ones represented here, that you can purchase at Threads. These are the correct school bags as part of our uniform for our year 4 students. And then here's just some illustrations of our lovely PE kit and our sports kit. And 4A were in their PE kits today, looking really, really smart. So it's great to see those representing their house teams. And I know the children really wear those with pride. So those are our PE kits for our year ahead. Okay, and then just some reminders as well for you, and this will be all sent out, so I'm not going to read through everything to you, but just some reminders about uniform and how the children are dressed, so just so they're nice and safe at school, and nothing that would interfere or cause any accidents in PE, for example, or in the playground. We don't want to hinder the children in any way, and just making sure they're nice and safe for school. Okay, so they're just some reminders, and again, this will be sent out, and I know it's in your parent guide as well. And I'm going to pass you over now to Miss Mehta in 4B to speak to you a little bit about house teams and house points.
Thank you, Miss McMahon. Good afternoon, parents. I'm really thrilled. I'm Miss Mehta, and I'm really thrilled to be joining the Year 4 team. I'm currently teaching the 4B class, and we've had a fantastic and amazing start to the year already. Let's just hope to keep it up. So those existing parents will already know that your child has already been placed in a house team, and we have 4 fantastic houses. We've got Pearl, Onyx, Ruby, and Emerald. New parents, your child should be placed in a house according to their siblings. If you have any issues with the house they're in and they're slightly different to your other siblings, please do contact reception and they'll be able to help you out there. So throughout the whole day in lessons, especially in specialist lessons, the children will have the opportunity to gain house points for their team and really showcase their pride for being part of a group, part of a unity, and enjoying the ethos that their house represents. So please continue to encourage your children to gain points, whether it's just through good behavior, classwork, and even sporting events. And at the end of every assembly, they will get to know which house is the winning team. And at the end of every half term, they get a little celebration with the rest of the houses from all over the school. So if you have any other questions about the house, please do come and speak to any member of the Year 4 team. And I'll pass you over to Miss Hill, which will talk further about the school policy. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Miss Hill and I'm going to be 4C class teacher this year. I'm very excited to be part of the Year 4 team again this year, and it's lovely to have met many of you so far already, and I look forward to seeing many faces as you come in for different events throughout the year. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit today about home learning, which I know we've had a few questions about already. So the home learning will be posted on the Year 4 Padlet, which the QR code for is on the screen, and obviously this will be sent out to you as well. The children will also have access to the Year 4 Padlet. On this, it has home learning menus, so it's a great place to go for information, any information about home learning, and also important information about the year group will be posted on the Padlet for your reference. So it's a good idea to save that QR code as a bookmark for the website so you can access it easily. Now on Padlet, we do post the spelling homework and information about any other homework. So each week, spellings are going to be set for Year 4 on a Thursday. So they'll have a week to learn their spellings, and then they'll be tested the following Thursday. So to access the spellings, you'll need to access the Year 4 Padlet, and they'll be posted on there on a Thursday. And also on Padlet, you will have information about other homeworks. So it will tell you about Century, Accelerated Reader, and Times Table Rockstars. Now these are separate websites, but it will have all the information about what homework is expected to be completed. So Century has maths, English, and science homework nuggets. These are going to be set every Wednesday, and they will need to be completed by the following Monday so that they can be checked, and so that the teacher can obviously check progress and ensure that everybody's completed them ready before the new homework is set the next week. And the Arabic and Islamic assignments also will be set on the Padlet. So if there's any other homeworks, or sometimes there are special homeworks that are set for different events going on in the school, these will also all be posted to the Year 4 Padlet. Times Table Rockstars, your children will also be given logins to, which will be going out over the next week or so. And so there's information about that on Padlet, but then they can log into TT Rockstars and practice their times tables. There's a really big emphasis in Year 4 on ensuring that all children have learnt their times tables and are fluent in these. So it's really important to get practicing on those on a regular basis, because it makes such a big difference to children's progress. Right, I'm going to pass you on now to Ms. Scholtishek, who's going to give you a little bit more information about reading homework.
Good afternoon, I'm Miss Scholtishek and I currently teach in 4G. Lots of you might recognise my face because last year I taught in 3E, but this year I'll be in 4G. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit more about reading and touch a little bit more on accelerated reader. So we all know that reading to children is an important way to build language skills. It exposes them to new words and ways of using the language, especially here with our British curriculum. We obviously read lots of English texts based on places around the world. Which makes it easier for them to learn about new subjects once they come to school. Here at WEC, we encourage children to read as much as possible. They have access to home reader books, which can be changed as and when your child has finished. And you can see here on the screen, there is an example of a reading record. So here, you can see it says Matilda, Roald Dahl, so you write the title of the book, and then there is a comment. This is written by the parent or the carer, whoever has heard the child read. We ask that the children don't write these comments themselves, that they're listened to by an adult. Once your child has had their reading record signed and has finished their book, they can change that home reader book as and when. So if they read it on the Monday and it's signed, then they can bring it in the Tuesday, and those books can be changed more frequently throughout the week. They also will have an accelerated reader, and the accelerated reader will only be able to be changed on library days. Your library day will be shared by your class teacher. So those accelerated reader books build further on the reading skills and also offer an online quiz. Those children, when you have finished, then they finish their book and they complete their quiz, and then they can change those accelerated reader books again only on the library day. We really encourage that they complete the quiz because that helps build on their comprehension. and any further reading that they can do can be through their other library book then. So if they have finished their accelerated reader on the Wednesday and their library day isn't until the following Wednesday, then they also have a free read, which is their library book. Again, that will only be able to be changed on library days. So accelerated reader and library books are library days only, and their home reader book will be as and when, as many times a week as their reading record has been signed and brought back in. We encourage every day, but we know that as the children are moving through the book bands, that they become more familiar with the chapter books, which can take a little bit longer, but we expect to see the children's home reading at least once or twice a week, just so we can promote that language. So now I'm going to hand you over to Miss Cooper, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about useful apps and websites.
Hi everybody, I am Miss Cooper and I teach in 4E. I'm going to talk to you about some apps and websites that we use. These are probably familiar to a lot of you, our existing students and new students. Hopefully this information will be clear to you on what we want you to put onto your children's devices as we move through year 4 now. So a lot of these link to homework, timetables, Rockstars, accelerated reader and Century. This is obviously, like Miss Hill said, where you will find the children's homework on there. All usernames and passwords will be sent out in reading journals over the next couple of weeks. So the usernames and passwords, you will have them and you can help your children log on to them. Teachers in the classroom will also ensure that your children are all set up on their devices, ready to go. Timetables, Rockstars, we promote the children to practice their timetables as much as possible on the app. Accelerated Reader is used for their reading quizzes, and Century is once again where the children will do their English, maths and science homework. Another app that we use is called Upstrive that we ask you to download onto your children's devices, and this is linked to our Grow Well lessons. So we use this app for the children to do daily check-ins on their well-being, where they can share how they're feeling on that day, and it allows teachers to know how they can help children depending on how they're feeling on a certain day. And we also use Seesaw. If you could download Seesaw onto your children's devices. No homework is set on Seesaw. We use it to aid lessons when needed. So we might put some resources or materials onto Seesaw for children to access, but no homework will be found on Seesaw unless we specifically say on Padlet. I'm now just going to talk to you a little bit about the devices that we want the children to have in school. So we do have a bring your own device policy because we want to be ensuring that the children are safe at all times with the devices that they are using within the classroom. We do recommend Apple iPads, but any tablet or device is absolutely fine as long as the apps that we want the children to have are compatible with the device the child has. So please ensure that you are able to download the apps and websites on the device or tablet that your child has. We only use iPads in school to support learning and to support the lessons going on in the classroom. They are not used for anything else. So we would like, as much as possible, for the children to only have their educational apps on the iPads for school time, please. They can bring in headphones as well if required. The children leave the headphones in their bags unless we ask them to bring them in. iPads are stored in a safe place in the classroom, and the children will only use them when a teacher asks for them to go and get them. So they're not able to use them whenever they want in the classroom. Equally, it is just used for educational purposes at all times. We will be sending out a bring your own device policy to you so you can have a read through that. The children have also read through this as well, so they know the rules and they know how to use their devices safely. So we're following our internet safety policies at all times. And now I'm going to just talk to you about our social media. So we do use Instagram in year 4, as do all the other year groups in the school. And we would really love you to follow us on Instagram so you can keep up to date with what's happening in the classroom. Every year 4 class will be posting once or twice throughout the week, so you can see what we're getting up to, what the children are doing, the work they're producing, any activities that we are getting on with. It's also great to see any special days and events that we have. And we will also keep you up to date on there with any upcoming dates that you might need as well. We have reminders on our Instagram, so please do follow us. We'd love you to like and have a look at what we're getting up to. So we really do promote our social media. You can see on the screen how you can follow us, so please do try and do that, and we'd love to see you on there. So thank you so much. I'm just going to pass you on now to Mr. Denton to talk about healthy eating.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favourite parts of the day, and that is lunchtime. It is incredibly important every child brings in a healthy lunch to school, and that is because it's going to promote lifelong healthy eating habits, which is further down the line only going to benefit each child. Lunchtime is a part of the day where children are able to recharge their batteries ready for the afternoon, and eating healthy lunch has many benefits for having a healthy mind ready for that second part of the day. Each class will also have one or two healthy eating heroes who will be checking each child's lunch, and might earn stickers and house points for having a healthy lunchbox. It's ideal to make sure water is brought every day, and 2 bottles for PE days, because it does get incredibly hot outside. There will be a treat Tuesday where each child can bring in 1 small treat on a Tuesday. So please make sure each child is bringing a substantial, healthy lunch. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Young and I teach in 4F this year. I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about wellbeing and our school counsellors. So you can see that the 2 ladies on the left, these are our 2 school counsellors. The school counsellors are available to the children as and when necessary. Teachers or parents can request referrals. If a teacher refers a child to a counsellor, we will arrange to meet with you and organise for a consent form to be signed. The counsellors are also available for parents, and they have a wealth of knowledge about parenting issues as well as childhood issues. So feel free to reach out if you think that would be beneficial. And then the lady on the right is Mrs. Bradwell, who is our Director of Inclusion. So she is your go-to person for anything inclusion related. As Miss McManaman mentioned earlier, wellbeing is high on the agenda at WEC. We have emotion check-ins, which I know Miss Cooper sort of touched upon earlier. The children have displays in their classrooms, which they can update throughout the day to express how they're feeling at certain times of the day. And this allows teachers to check in with the children and make sure that everything is okay. Our Grow Well lessons, as Miss McManaman mentioned, are going to be every single day now for 10 minutes at the beginning of each day. Grow Well lessons are focused on well-being and teaching the children skills of self-awareness, self-management, decision-making, relationships, and social awareness. And we do find that the children do love these lessons as well. So I'm going to hand you back to Miss McManaman now to finish off our presentation.
Okay, thank you, and thank you all the teachers. All right, just to finish off, these are just some useful academic contacts for you that you might need throughout the year. And again, these will be sent out on the PowerPoint after this Zoom meeting. So they're just there for you if there's anyone that you need to reach out to. And then our parent communication. So on Fridays, we'll be sending our weekly newsletter, and that will go into the email addresses that are registered on our system. So that's how the teachers have been communicating with you so far. And if that email address does change for any reason, please just let your class teacher know. And those emails you can look out for at the end of the day, at the end of the school day on a Friday. We also have our social media that Ms. Cooper mentioned. You can contact your you can contact the teachers in your class via email, or you can book a meeting. And those meetings can be on the phone, they can be on Zoom, or of course, we can meet with you face to face. Then you will receive reports, and we use our ladders at home learning ladders at home to communicate your children's wonderful progress. And then you'll get your end of year reports as well, and our student-led conferences. Okay, and then just a note there that there are, of course, parent WhatsApp groups, and that's wonderful for parents socializing and to build a community around the class. And we do really think they're great, but just check with the school as well if you've got any questions for official communication, and that will always come from the school emails. All right, so thank you so much for joining us today. We're really looking forward to a wonderful year ahead, and I'm really looking forward to seeing so many of you on those parent welcome mornings that are coming in a few weeks, and at our other parent events throughout the year. I really appreciate your time this afternoon, and that's a really big thank you from me for joining us, and I hope we've been able to answer some of your questions. And of course, if you do have any more questions after this PowerPoint, please do reach out to your class teacher or to myself or to Ms. Brunton. We're more than happy to help and to answer those questions as well. So thank you so much for joining us.